YouTube, what it do? It's your guy CJ back with another video, back with another episode of the CJ Wilkins YouTube channel. I want to encourage you guys today, man. I want to drop a little something by your ear. I was inspired to give you this message today. And what I want you guys to all receive is that everybody is going through a tough time right now, right? And this is primarily geared towards people in the West, but this is becoming a worldwide thing now, man, to where economies are starting to like fizzle out a little bit, you know what I mean? Like, and this isn't a new occurrence. If you've been paying attention, the last 4 years have been very rough from like an economic standpoint in a lot of countries, man, in a lot of places around the world, right? And I read an article, man, not too long ago that highlighted the depression that's going on a global scale right now, right? People are more so than ever now worried about, finances, and they're worried about their bills, and they're worried about, can they pay the mortgage this month, and they're trying to see, what can I sacrifice over here to the left so I could pay the rent, and a lot of the depression and the anxiety that people are dealing with is really a byproduct of the facades and the illusions that they see on social media, and that's why, man, I always encourage people. You don't always have to just, go cold turkey and just get off of social media and delete your page and all that. I know some people, they may go like on the extremes and say, you just need to get rid of all your social media and you need to block everybody. And, I'm not going to go that extreme with it. I do think that it's good to maintain and try to practice at the greatest of your ability to be able to manage your social media in a way to where you don't allow your social media to impact how you feel about yourself in real time. Because I'm here to tell y'all, man, social media is fake, man. Social media is not real life. There's real people on social media, of course, right? I'm not saying it's fake from that standpoint, but I'm telling y'all, man, social media is fake from the standpoint of people are only posting the highlights. You know what I mean? And I always use this analogy. If you're a sports fan and you watch like sports, and you watch ESPN, right? And when you watch, it's a show on ESPN called Sports Center. And it's been out for like 40, 50 years. Like, this ain't a new show. Those who know, and those who don't know could always research. But anyway, Sports Center shows the highlights of the game. So say the Lakers like played the Warriors, for an example, right? They're not going to show you the whole 48-minute game. They're going to show you the parts of the game that stood out. LeBron dunked on somebody. Steph Curry like hit a three and fell out of bounds into the crowd. Luka like hit a Magic Johnson like pass on a fast break. Jimmy Butler posted up like Hachimura and hit a fadeaway in the corner. They're going to show you the highlights. And social media is the exact same way. Social media is really big on just showing you the highlights. It's going to show you the good parts, right? But it's not going to show you the down moments. They don't show you the behind the scenes, you know what I mean? And that's done for design because, one, who wants to post their L's? Who wants to post losses? Like, who wants to post like the missed shots? You want people to see all your shots going in. So why would you post the bad things? But a lot of people take what they see on social media, man, because you got to think, we're so inundated, man, with social media, with marketing. I think I read something one time, man, from the time you wake up and to the time you go to work and you come home, you've been sold to 90,000 times. Whether that's the radio station that you listen to, or that's the podcast or the YouTube channel that you listen to, if you don't have the ad free like, Spotify or Pandora, you're just listening to advertisements all day, billboards that you drive by, for sale signs that you drive by. People are trying to sell you something, bro. You're being inundated with all of these messages, you know what I'm saying? And when you're on social media, man, because you're inundated with so many images of the illusion of people doing better than you, having more money than you, looking better than you, being taller than you, being more fit than you, right? If you look at your real life and you compare it to the facade of other people's lives, you'll think your life isn't important. You'll think your existence doesn't have the value that it should at this juncture in the game. And then you get into the conundrum of social comparison, right? And social comparison, man, is one of the greatest thieves of joys I could ever think of, could ever imagine. Because when you're thinking about what other people have in comparison and what you don't have, one thing you're not doing in that very moment is you're not thinking about all the things you do have. You're not thinking about all the blessings and all the gifts and all the tools that you have at your disposal that makes you blessed already as is. You're a walking, breathing, talking miracle. You're a gift from God already. But because you're looking at social media and you're looking at these models who are airbrushed, or they have a million filters on them, or you're looking at these influencer guys who are in the rented European cars, and they're in the rented mansions that they don't own, and they're using prop money and they're throwing it around on a yacht that they're just doing a photo op on. You be like, man, I gotta get up and go to work today. I don't know how I'm gonna pay my utility bills. And you stressed out because you're comparing your real life to somebody else's 30-second commercial. You know what I'm saying? If you broke your whole day down, if you broke your whole week down into highlights, you would have 30 seconds or more of good things that happen too. Yeah, it's easy to think about the negative things. You know what I'm saying? It's easy to think about, what went wrong and who said this to me, or this is what I should have said as a response and I wasn't thinking. You know what I mean? It's so easy to think about the negative things. But if you really sat down, man, and just thought about it and just took out a pen and a sheet of paper, you could come up with a lot of things that did go right within your day. Even if you quote unquote had a bad day, there are still components within that day that may be positive. If you really break down your week from an analytical standpoint, you had great moments within that week. Now, it may be outweighed by the bad, okay? I'm not saying it's impossible to have a bad week. I've had a lot of bad weeks in my life, but normally it fizzles out. It don't really get to the month part. I don't think I ever had a bad month. But in the 4 weeks that makes up a month, I may have had 2 bad weeks, but it normally evens out. You know what I'm saying? For me anyway. I'm not saying that should be the standard for everybody, but just really try your best if you can to think about your highlights. Think about your commercials. And I think what that can do, and I'm not a medical professional, I'm not giving y'all no type of medical or therapy advice. So please don't just take what I say as this is professional help. You know what I'm saying? Because it's not, but I do think if you put some of these items into practice, I do think you will receive a different outcome from the anxiety, from the stress, from the pressure, from the depression that you feel, from just watching everybody else's timeline and you thinking that everything is just all sunshine and sprinkles on their end. Some of y'all are single right now and you looking at people in relationships and stuff, and you're seeing the pictures they post or the cute statuses they post on Valentine's Day. You be like, man, I wish I had someone, but you don't really know the behind the scenes. You don't really see the reality of that relationship. You just see the highlights. You just see the highlights of it. You don't see the You don't see the infidelity. You don't see the domestic violence. You don't see the verbal abuse that they put their partner through. You just see the aesthetics of it. You don't see the nuts and bolts of it. You know, you look at people who may be doing better financially, right? But you don't see what they had to do to get to that point, you know, because there is a saying, all money ain't good money, right? And I know y'all have heard that before, and it's a true thing. All money ain't good money, man. Some people go about getting their money in ways to where if you knew how they got it, I don't think you would want the money that much, you know? And it's not everybody. Like, some people do go about getting their money the right way, in a way that's honorable, things like that. But there are some people, man, who they go about getting their bag, quote unquote, in ways to where, you know, if that's what I had to do to get the money, you can keep it. I'm all right. I'll find a different way to get it, you know. And that's for real, man. That's some news that you can use. If you knew how some of these people out here driving these nice cars and in these crazy houses, if you knew how much of their soul and their spirit they had to like give up to get that. And I'm not talking like on some spooky Illuminati shit. I'm talking about just everyday people who just get to high levels of success. The things that they do to get it may be one way, but a lot of people are so addicted to the status that comes with it, they kind of do weird things to keep it. So, you know, never be so big on just beating yourself up for not having things that other people have, because you don't know how they got it. You don't know who gave it to them. You don't know if that thing that they receive or they have, you don't know if it's blessed or not. But the important thing is, man, out of all of this, is not trying to dictate, you know, who's blessed and who's not, who got it the right way versus who didn't. I really want you guys to take from this video, man, learn how to appreciate your life. Learn how to value yourself. Learn how to be proud of your highlights in life. And learn how to be appreciative of what you do have. Even if you don't think you have a lot, I promise you, if you really sat down and thought about what you have, you would be blown away by how much you do have. You know what I'm saying? Because you have a lot. You have a lot to give. You have a lot to offer this world. You have a lot of value that you bring to the table. And you may not be able to see it because you're comparing your metrics to the metrics of other people, right? You're looking at what people outside of you have and what they possess and where they're flying to and where they're vacationing at and what they're driving and, you know, the things that they're posting. But I'm telling you, man, that isn't always the reality. A lot of times, like, you're looking at an illusion. It looks good. Oh my God, it looks amazing. Like, you'll be like, man, this is something I would really love. And you internalize it because you're spending so much time online and you're inundated with so many images of things that you don't have or levels that you're quote unquote not at. A lot of times that's a lie too. You may be a lot closer to something than what you give yourself credit for, but because you're not there right now in that mode, you'll think you're really far away. But you really may not be really far away. You really just may be like a few network connections away. You may be one handshake away. You may be 2 cold calls away. You may be 5 emails away. You may be just bumping into the right person away. You may be 5 prayers away. You may be 2 months away. You may be just one mental mind shift switch away from being that person who God created you to be. And people on social media living their best life or, you know, creating the illusion of that doesn't take away from the gifts and the blessings that God has for you. Because your gifts are going to be your gifts. Your blessings are going to be your blessings, right? Regardless of the fact, you know. So get out of the habit, if you can, of social comparison, because social comparisons, man, are a monster. And I know this because I used to socially compare as well, man. and you gain absolutely nothing from it. There is no value that you receive in this world from comparing yourself socially. It's not a good thing. So get us some thought, man, and let me know how y'all feel about this episode, man. Be sure to drop some comments below. Let's have a conversation about this. It's your guy CJ, and I'm out. Peace.